So we'll just apologize in advance if this recording is like super fucked up because
We're Chromebooking.
yeah, well, and also I sound weird. I sound weird in my headphones. I'm also high right now.
Yeah, that's probably why you sound weird.
But it's funny because I'm also drinking old fashions, which that's a good combo.
That's the old double down.
But I was like the one previous to this I mixed up and then I took a sip of it and it had a super weird like I could taste the flavor profile of all the mix, like the simple syrup and I put a little cherry in there, little citrus, some bitters. I could taste all that separate, and then right after that, full whiskey, like just yeah. So that's kind of what I'm hearing right now. Is I sound
full whiskey?
No, I like my voice sounds super weird. You sound totally normal to me.
I normally sound weird, so checks out.
But you seem to say I sound normal.
You sound fine to me.
Okay. Well, if you're watching, hi, how are you? Because yeah, that dude, them are good shits. Okay, so we get no revenue share from any of this, but hey, Mrs. Average, would you do me a huge favor and just glance in that recycle bin and give me the name of that? It was like Sigma or some. I'm gonna do an ad for. Here, let me see that shit. Sigma?
Stig.
I was gonna say because I'm a Sigma, so that checks out. Stigma. Yeah, stigma with a T. I don't know what that means in Latin because I'm high. Otherwise, I'd normally make something up. But anyway, so I've been drinking the shit out of these on the golf course. After golf, like just it seems to be my new thing. I mean, I'm obviously still loyal to my.
When you can't have an old fashioned, you might as well get high, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
And if you're high, get an old fashioned.
Right. So the good thing about these is that you can buy them at Total Wine, which is not a dispensary, but I guess somehow there's some sort of loophole or some shit like that where you can just drink weed from your local, beverage.
It's like
supplier.
a seltzer.
It kind of is, but there's fucking weed in it. It says keep out of reach of children. So
well, that's stupid.
Yeah. So anyway, this is going to be the whole theme of the podcast. Is hi, how are you? That could be the name of the episode. It's like Good Morning Missy, but it's more of a Mrs. Average is giving me water because
hydrate.
Apparently, yeah. Thank you for digging that out of trash. By the way, that was super deluxe. That's pretty cash money of Mrs. Average, wasn't it?
She's a giver.
Yeah. Yes. Good morning, Mrs. Average. I can say that because we're in absolutely 0.0 danger of her listening to an episode, so I can pretty much say whatever I want.
She's tired of listening to you altogether.
True.
Why would she listen to you in the car when
you're
not there?
Remember how we did an episode? I don't know how many episodes ago it was because, reasons. But I'm going to show you something offline here. I get this message. I get this picture sent to me.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, okay. Meanwhile, you can see who it's from. So remember we did this whole episode saying I have eyes everywhere. Because it's not uncommon for me to just receive a picture of my wife out in the wild, just being,
Yeah, just doing,
yeah, living life, living her best life. So David, we don't have to explain what living your best life is. That's a callback. That's a deep pull. So I still got it. Hi, how are you? I wish I could, oh, you know what we could? No, I'm not going to fuck with the voices. We were going to start off full chipmunk mode because apparently you can do that on this stupid Temu podcast setup. Bob is also here.
Yeah, I'm
by the
here.
way. Welcome to the Average Minute. We got MoonLion. He's got smokes.
My, my luckies.
Yeah. No filter on them shits.
Straight.
They're not Edgefield. Oh no. I was supposed to say Chesterfield, but I went actual real brand that you can buy at the Indian casino. So it's almost worse. Like anybody can just go to a casino, but it's going to an Indian casino I know there's a difference. Like you got all them shits up in Nevada, that are not Indian casinos, but then you got Indian casinos, and there's somehow a difference. But it always sounds worse when you're like, they're down at the Indian casino spending their SSI check.
Yeah, it's kind of the people who hang out at the Indian casino is what gives them a bad name. And they got the WeCash welfare,
and it's got nothing to do with the Lakotas or anything. This is not what we're talking about. We're basically trashing on people that can't fold a sheet. So anyway, welcome to the high average minute. What? I feel like I had an agenda in my head at one point.
Oh yeah, that was.
We were gonna.
When I got the text message from you saying, "Hey, I had one of them drinks," I'm like, "Oh shit, should I even come over?" Because
it's fine. It's totally fine. I can power through this. It's not like I'm on the verge of going to sleep or something. It's just, it kind of scrambles things a little bit. In a good way, in a really good way. It's like the good pain, like when you, never mind. So I had an agenda. I wanted to redo what we did last week, which, by the way, if you missed last week's episode, it's because it failed on us. So
was it 3 attempts that we
did? There were multiple attempts at recording a podcast, and we would be in 25, 30 minutes, and it would just go, recording ended, your internet sucks. Meanwhile, it had nothing to do with the internet. It was the stupid fucking software anyway. So here we go. We're trying to just record. I'm just recording local onto the computer, and then I'm going to try to upload that. The last time I did that, it sounded like it had been through the washing machine in Tel Aviv more than once. So we'll see. If this is how the quality of this audio is, I do apologize. My tech support guy actually gave notice because he's on the bag for Aaron Rye this week, apparently, at the Masters.
don't even know who that is.
You know what? They say India is the most populous country per capita, but it's actually a very small, tight-knit community. So that's why my tech support guy and Aaron Rye, so racist humor isn't funny if you have to explain it.
I got the joke. I'm just saying I don't know who Aaron Rye is. Apparently, he's an Indian golfer.
Only, by genealogy, not because, And when we say Indian, we mean legit Indian, not Lakota.
The one you can call Indian, and you're fine.
The Indians that don't have casinos. Actual legit Indians. What? How retarded were the fucking explorers that came over that went, them are Indians?
Well, they were looking,
their skin is slightly darker than ours, Indians.
They were looking for a faster route to India by going west.
Completely the wrong direction.
And so they...
you just took the longest possible route?
When they landed, they went, hell yeah, we found India. Look, Indians. And it sucked.
But it wasn't like they had found India. It wasn't like they set out to discover India and found America.
They knew where it was.
There had already been long established trade routes, and it was already under British rule, the whole shit. And they just took a wrong turn. It'd be like if I said, "Hey, I'm going to come over to grab something from you a mile down the road," and I just fucking turned the wrong way and went to Whip's house and went, "Oh, look, he's Bob."
Yeah. Where's those hats?
This is the driveway I pulled into.
I thought you were the hat guy.
Certainly.
I was looking for a faster way to the hat guy.
Speaking of, if you're watching this, you probably can't make it out. I'm just massaging it right now. The print is very fine. But Bob and I are both sporting the new This podcast is brought to you by Provisional.
Provisional. Because you got to have that pause because it makes you think that you might be a pro.
Well, on paper,
and then you realize your ball's flying out of bounds.
Yeah, so we're repping Provisional Golf Apparel LLC, a subsidiary of Landlocked Marine LLC. Can LLCs have sub LLCs?
What you do is you make the. Oh, are we getting inside baseball?
I just want to know. Let's tell
are we going to make this?
Let's tell the entire nation and our fan in Beirut.
Yeah.
How do you set up a tax shelter exactly? Yeah. Good morning, Missy.
Yeah, Missy, I need to set up a new LLC. Good morning.
We're going Provisional golf and lifestyle products. Provisional lifestyle products. It could mean anything. Does this apply to your lifestyle? It could be a pickleball racket but also a flask. You know, where like the bottom of the paddle. Oh. It's not a racket; it's a paddle. By the way, I've never played one. I've never even held a pickleball in my.
The only reason why I even know pickleball exists is because we play courses that are around pickleball courts, and you go, "What the hell's that annoying noise?"
Good segue. Pickleball. Where are we playing this week? We got a mediocre tradition, unlike any other.
Speaking of pickleball, they got a lot of pickleball courts there.
They do. That's part of the charm of the home of our first major of the season, the beautiful and exclusive Pueblo El Mirage.
Yeah, you can't just walk on there.
No, it's this full. Welcome to Pueblo El Mirage. I'll be your timeshare host today. So David, well, we know what David knows what a timeshare is. It's fine. I don't need to explain. We were talking about something important. It was either
the MGA tournament.
It was either Indian casinos or it's the Bastards leading up. You know what?
I always keep thinking the MGA is first.
No,
before the Bastards.
It never is.
But then the Masters is this weekend. And the PGA is not, so checks out.
So I wonder if we should come up with, so you know how they have like the pimento cheese sandwiches and the egg salad sandwich. Should we have like a mediocre like tuna sandwich or something? That's
tuna on rye.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. A chicken salad on wheat. I always do chicken salad on wheat. What would be the exact opposite? Tuna salad on rye, because that makes sense. Yeah. You know what? I don't need to do any deep dives into the Bastards. So for those of you out there in podcast land that are possibly still, for some weird happenstance, you're still unfamiliar with the Mediocre Golf Association. The Bastards, it's the first major of the season. We have ours coming up this weekend. We're doing a practice round on Saturday. Well, not we. We are doing a practice round on Saturday. Very exclusive.
Yeah. It's like Augusta, but just in El Mirage.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. There's Amen Corner and everything.
There's Amen Corner. There's a meth corner, literally on the corner, because it's El Mirage. So checks out. But no, it's a storied golf course designed by, oddly enough, found out today. Designed by Fuzzy Zeller.
Really?
Right? Chicken and watermelon guy. There's also, he was the last player to win the Masters in his debut, 1979. Fuzzy Zeller. He doesn't show up to the same champions dinner that Tiger shows up to, though, because,
because words.
Yeah. Like I referenced chicken and watermelon. That was, for those of you that have been living under a rock for the last 30 years, you think the average minute gets dicey? Imagine being on the grounds at Augusta National Golf Club and being interviewed about the new up-and-coming star by Golf Media on television, and they go, hey, if Tiger goes on to win, what do you think? And he goes, oh, the champions dinner will be chicken and watermelon. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, seriously, the fuck did you just say?
It was a different time.
I think he was the first person that I was aware, because when that went down, I was, I don't know, 12, 13, 15 maybe. I forget what year it was. It was like mid to late 90s. Whenever, so Tiger won his first in '97, so it was definitely before that. Um, so first time in my life that I was actually aware of somebody getting canceled,
Yeah.
right? Because that wasn't a thing. We didn't have social media. We barely had computers, and and it was like the like here's this like a previous Masters champion, beloved in the sport, all this kind of stuff, and then he says one fucked up thing, and it instantly like dead to the world. Nobody, and it was many years before he actually became an acceptable name to throw around the dinner table. It just it obviously you can see that had quite an effect on me because I filter so much from you know uh, speech that is broadcast to the world. Anybody can pick this up. I mean, we're probably on an aircraft carrier somewhere, or
We're probably on a cruise ship.
we're probably on in a hangar on an Air Force base somewhere across the ocean.
Oh yeah, there's that.
Because there's that. So, so we got into a conversation last week about, well, there were a couple. Like we did the whole MGA attempt. Let's talk about that, and we talked about the Battle of the Bridge. I'm just going to go ahead and fall on the sword right now. I talk a good game. Turns out I don't play as good of a game. Whip may or may not have had something to do with me losing by a slim margin coming down the home stretch, but I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying I'm not blaming him. So if you've never met Whip, imagine a thalidomide baby. Okay, get that picture burned into your brain. He doesn't look anything like that. Okay. On that note, I am not blaming him at all for my slim margin loss at the Battle of the Bridge.
The podcast that crashed, it didn't sound like you weren't blaming him.
I am not blaming him at all. He was there. He came in clutch with the how we always talk about we're a good team and we ham and egg well together. We're two-man scramble. Not so great in the am department as far as partners go. We have a good time, but we don't ever win because, reasons. When I need him there in a match play situation to rule in my favor, that doesn't, and I'm not looking for anything like, oh, I need you to bend the rules at all. But if it's a legitimately could go either situation, either way, I'm going to need you to go ahead and be my caddy here on this one and not.
Yeah, even though like the other group would outvote the situation 2-1, Whip's still supposed to be that one.
Right. He's
Yeah.
yeah. That's kind of how that works.
Yeah.
Anyway, again, I'm not blaming Whip, and he does not look anything like a thalidomide baby. He doesn't. He doesn't have flippers or nothing.
Yeah.
I've seen him. He's got normal feet and hands. He's not all. Oh, I almost.
No, you've gone through this before.
Yeah, but who has listened back that far? Like, what episode was that? I feel like that was the name of the episode.
Yeah,
It's something about thalidomide.
It was very early on.
And there was a picture of a flipper baby on the cover.
Yeah, go look through the archives.
Yeah, do that. Start at episode 1 and work your way up. I need to replace. So I can't even figure out how to do it. This is how technologically retarded I am. I cannot, for the life of me, figure out how to go on there and record a new. We have that gay ass, what's it called, a trailer or something, where it's like a little 1 minute, and it's just me going like, "Hey, do you like mediocre golf? And do you also like just talking about bullshit?" Like, this is the podcast for you. I need to make a new one of those, and it's just going to be me saying, "Hi, how are you?"
Hi,
and clinking my ice ball.
Clinking balls and getting high.
Right. That's not the name of the episode. But we also got into what time is it? Where are we at? I can't even see the counter.
I don't see
Are we even recording?
Yeah,
oh, there it is. It's like
I see it now.
It's like almost 20. Okay.
And if you made it this far, thank you.
Yeah. If the audio held up and you can actually hear us without the popping and the clicking and the cutting out, yeah, it's a Festivus miracle. We also got into a somewhat interesting conversation about robot suffrage, which that's coming. That's kind of like the next dude. We got assholes out there bringing
So,
extinct animals back to life.
so robot suffrage would mean we're denying robots the right to vote?
Yeah, well, they're not human. The whole okay.
Yeah, I know.
All right. So I'm talking to the podcast land like they were in here
Yeah.
during the last episode, but it turns out we never published the last
Last
episode
episode is in the wind.
because it never got recorded. I couldn't even like forensically get into my computer and pull the scrubbed files. Like it just never even existed. It was weird. So we got into this conversation about. I think what it boiled down to was I actually got you to say the words, I'm for slavery.
Yeah.
Which, because
Putting words in my mouth.
that's
but sure,
that's the
I'll
name of the
agree to that.
episode. Bob's for slavery.
Yeah.
So what it comes down to is, would you have a robot to perform tasks you don't want to do, or you don't have time to do, or you can't afford to, whatever?
Like my robot vacuum.
Yeah, kind of. Like, does it have a name?
No.
You know when people start having the whole full-on flesh robot in the house, like sweeping up and whatever, they're going to be like, I'm naming you Toby or
Yeah.
some shit.
Toby's a horrible robot name,
Well,
but okay.
what would be a better robot name than Toby?
What was the robot's name in the Jetsons?
Rosie.
Bam.
Yeah, but
Rosie the robot.
no, because that's not, Rosie's not a fuckable name. Like
So you want an attractive robot?
what I'm saying is, if I'm in danger of suffering through them lonely nights here at the Average Minute World Headquarters, and there's a robot that has
Performs tasks.
but also might have a dump truck.
Just put a big old J-Lo dumper on it.
Yeah, why not? I mean, they don't care. What do they care? What I'm saying is, it would if it was like, oh, Rosie, like, you're so flesh-like.
But it'd be just like Rosie Palm because you're screwing a robot.
Yeah, but no, I never. Well, turns out I'm not Mexican, so we didn't go with the Manuela and her 5 sisters. That's what. I'm pretty sure that's what the Latino community
Refers to it.
Yeah, Pamela Henderson.
Oh,
It's same thing. It's my hand.
you obviously know more about this topic than I do.
Well, so I've been working in body shops for a lot of years. So you end up picking up
Walking in the bathroom and seeing your
stuff like
amigos.
Manuela
things.
and her 5 sisters. But because mono.
Yeah.
So David, what?
He probably got that one, actually.
No, he probably. Oh, you know what? He probably did, because I feel like he's got a family who is legitimately not even Hispanic. By the way, if we're getting into genealogy, which we're not, because I'm not prepared for that episode. Did you know that David is not Mexican?
Never thought about it.
David Rodriguez. You wouldn't assume that he was anyway, unless you know his name. Not Mexican. And did you know that it wasn't until the cruise that his wife of over 30 years didn't know that he wasn't Mexican? Like, he's not Mexican.
She's like, "Oh, it's a mixed race couple. Are you offended by that?"
His dad immigrated from Spain, or grandfather, not his dad. It was something like that. Whoever the Rodriguez, the OG, he immigrated from Spain through Mexico. Like he crossed the border, the southern border, to the U.S. Therefore, the grand assumption that he was Mexican. It'd be like us, emigrating to France by way of whatever butts up to France, and all of a sudden you're German. No, we're not German. Like, we're American. We're we just happen to come through this border. But for over 30 years, Mrs. Sexy had no idea that, not Mexican. It's like the whole Did you say we're an interracial couple?
Yeah. Did you finally catch that?
Yeah.
That was such a good joke for those of you in podcast land, and I
Did
can't
you?
believe he didn't hit it.
I didn't even. Did you? So, hi, how are you?
You mean we're just a couple of white people?
Yeah.
You want to go to the Gap?
Yeah. Yeah. I took you to all the Spanish restaurants because I thought you were black. What? Sorry. Sorry. For those out there in podcast land, I'm a little bit off the rails. So,
Pay attention to Seinfeld. You'll get all these.
yeah, but
That one was a big pull, though.
it was a deep cut. It was, meanwhile, I feel like that guy legit is black though.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I never looked into it. Research is not my thing.
It doesn't matter. Nobody ever saw him again after he did that one Seinfeld episode. So anyway, on the topic of robots, the whole idea, because I feel like we never explained the whole "I'm for slavery" thing. It turns out that humanity, since the existence of humans having other humans available to enslave, humanity has been for slavery in some form or another, right? And I'm not agreeing with it I'm just laying out the facts. I'm not taking a position statement here on whether or not I'm for slavery. I'm saying I think humanity in general, since the dawn of humanity, has been for slavery, and if they can find any possible way to have someone or something else performing a task that they don't want to perform for free, they're going to do it. They're going to they're going to fight wars. They're going to do everything they can do to allow some form of slavery. And so my hypothesis was, we got all these advancements in technology and, all these humanoid robots and stuff that are coming out that can do backflips and cartwheels and play soccer games and all this kind of stuff. And they can clean up around the house, and they can make your life easier, and they can, give you an enthusiastic hand job at the end of the day if you program them to do it. What the hell's the difference between that? So why do we have to make a humanoid to do tasks that we don't want to do?
It's the same thing as any machine that we've ever built.
We try to make
We
it
always build a machine so we don't have to do the task.
right. But what I'm saying is, why do you have to make these robots humanoid? Like, why can't they just be like whatever? Like, why do they have to look as close as possible to human?
Because nerds build robots, and nerds need to get laid.
They need companionship. Yeah. All right. What I'm getting at is, I think there's something in the human psyche, or in the whatever you want to call it. Psyche is not the right word. The human condition, or the whatever the fuck, dude. I have no idea what I'm saying right now. What I am saying is that I think that there is something inherent to a human that, given the opportunity to enslave, and the other part of that is to do it guilt-free. Like, how do you justify taking swaths of people from one part of the planet and going, oh, they're totally different than us. They're less than us. In fact, they're not even human. We're not even going to really count them as people. They're more like livestock. That gives you the free pass to do whatever you want, right? So you have to consider that the people that you are enslaving are not in fact people, or best case scenario, they are a much lesser class or value of people than you are. That's the only way you can do the mental gymnastics to be able to sleep at night and not kill yourself for what you're doing to people. So if we can possibly invent a way to have slaves but have them actually not be people, I think that's what the whole thing is. So we just, as humans, we love the idea of slavery, but how can we do it to where we can sleep at night? Is we have to create people that aren't actually people, and that way they can just do all the shit we don't want to do, and we can still sleep at night. But we're getting so smart and advanced in the way that we're developing the AI. They are going to be smarter than us very, very, very soon, if not already, right? And at what point do we go, okay, well, because you're a machine, you're not they're ostensibly people at a certain point, doesn't matter if they have skin on them or whatever, like and you're going to be okay taking that thing that's smarter than you and just going, okay, here, not only are you going to be my slave, but you're going to go ahead and start making more, because that's what's next in the whole AI robot jump, is what they can improve on themselves, make better versions of themselves, build it bigger, faster, stronger, whatever.
Kids.
Yeah. And at some point we're going to end up being the slaves.
And that's when they block out the sun and make us batteries.
Right. Exactly. We're like maybe in our lifetime away from this happening.
Well, not our lifetime, because you and I are pretty much at the end.
Right. Okay. So maybe not in our lifetime, but definitely in Whip's lifetime, because apparently
they live to be 200.
Them fuckers, like holy Christ. So can you read the time? Is it prostate break?
We got a solid 30 minutes in, so.
Okay. Well,
sure.
Was it a solid 30 minutes? Because I feel like I've said 984 words and you've said 3.
Yeah, I'm just talking to you. That's how it works.
So what you're saying is if I don't stop talking, you can't start talking?
Yeah.
I feel like that was a backhanded way of
See, the way
like,
a conversation works is one guy stops talking so someone else can say something.
So, Lord, I apologize for getting high and also trying to get drunk at the same time as being high. That's not a good combo for me.
No, I will tell you that the few times that I've gotten high while I was drunk were some of the best sleeps of my life.
Well, I'm not worried about, like, I'm not in any danger of not being able to fall asleep. The first go around. So I have noticed I reached the age where I will get up at 2. Usually it's around 2. Like, I have to. Like, my body's just like, nah, you're up. Well, like, what is that?
Well, I'm at the age where my body won't go to sleep until 2.
That's an age? Because I feel
I
like
don't know. It's probably more of a lifestyle.
You are at that age when it's going on in your life.
Yeah.
But I'm saying I feel like it's a very common thing for men of a certain age to just start randomly getting up. I think, you know what I think it is? I think it's because also around the same age, you start watching Fox News sometimes in the evening. And then you just sit up in your bed at night and you're like, Jesse Waters said what? And I feel like that's a real problem because I'm not like the biggest Fox News fan. So I don't think I can just sit there and watch Fox News all the time, especially when I wake up at 2 a.m. and can't go back to sleep. Like, what is that? Like, you're just up?
My time was 3 o'clock when I started going through that. Waking up at middle of the night was 3, and I just constantly just couldn't fall back asleep. But there's a lot of stressors in my life at that time.
I feel like I don't have all that much stress. Like, I got a pretty chill lifestyle some of the part of the week. Not some of the part. It's either some of the week or part of the week, but It's not some of the part of the week.
So what you want to go is get stigma.
Yeah. Oh, she threw it back away. But stigma, I feel like it's...
If you want to talk yourself in circles on a podcast...
I feel like it says THC on the can.
Yeah.
So you should be able to find it. It's in alphabetical order. It's under T for THC.
For stigma?
There's a big T at the end of the aisle. You go to Total Wine and there's a big T, and you just look at that wall of beverages, and you'll probably be fine because they got hundreds of them. So what you want to do is when you do that, make sure to drink water because, I don't know when the last time you got like unreasonably high was, but you're going to want to drink water.
Yeah. Water's good.
So David, what THC does to you? And I know that he doesn't know this because, he doesn't partake.
CDL.
He doesn't partake in the devil's lettuce. Yeah, because he's a responsible. Whereas a lot of those guys, they'll get popped if they gotta do a rando.
Oh yeah.
Like they'll piss hot, and David's not one of those guys because he's living his best life. But, but speaking of waking up at 2 a.m., I do think it is time for a prostate break. And then I don't know. We'll see if I make myself another one, we could just end up. This could be a 4 or 5 hour because I'll just forget to hit the stop button. I'm not gonna hit stop right now.
Make it a pause.
I'm gonna hit pause. And that's on pause. You can see that from there.
Pause.
Okay. We'll be black. You stay white there. And we're back. What were we talking about? Not robots? not robots?
Not robots. We're done with robots.
As you can see, I've gotten way better. My condition has improved since the prostate break, which was just a mere second ago. But I haven't got any better.
Yeah, he's doing fine.
I made another little drinky poo, but it's okay. We're doing great. This is a good episode.
He's up to calling him drinking poos now. So
that's from for if you know you know. Like that's not me calling it that. That's a reference. That's Jim Leahy of Trailer Park Boys, the park superintendent or whatever the fuck he was, the raging alcoholic. Anyway, you know what? It's not funny if you have to explain it. If you know, you know. Out there in podcast land, Trailer Park Boys. I'm going full Julian.
Yeah, he's Julian all the time.
I know Whip likes to think that he's Julian.
Whip's not Julian.
But
I'm closer to Julian than Whip, and I'm not Julian.
Nobody's cool enough to be Julian.
Yeah.
I feel like I self-identify as Ricky.
Since no one has ever walked up to me randomly at Fry's to say hello while I'm holding a drink in my hand, and I've done that to you twice.
Yeah, well, it checks out.
So that's the most Julian thing out of the three of us.
Sure. Although, did you I was driving down the road the other day with an old fashioned in my hand.
Yeah.
There's photo documentation about that. But no,
that was Photoshop. He didn't do that.
I'm definitely not. It was iced tea, dude. It was iced tea. I'm definitely not Julian. If anybody, I'm Ricky. Which I don't like that, but I just feel like that's, like I'm the most likely to have to sleep in the back of your car because I got kicked out of my trailer. Anyway,
nobody's seen Trailer Park Boys, so we're having a conversation between the two of us.
Don't miss next week when we discuss Letterkenny, which is like aftermarket Trailer Park Boys. Totally different theme, but whatever. Same shit. Same stupid shit. Where was I even going with the robots and I don't want to get into the whole.
You already made your robot point.
Oh, well, what I had moved on to.
We started talking about dumb shit, and then we took a prostate break.
Oh, well, are you saying we didn't talk about dumb shit the entire first half? Because I feel like it was. I feel like it was all dumb shit.
We had focused dumb shit, and then we had unfocused dumb shit.
I feel like I had unfocused.
Like this is unfocused dumb shit.
Dude, so if you're powering through this episode, thanks for, if you ever wanted to hang out with Average while he's having a really good time, but you're like, why the fuck am I here? Welcome to the Average Minute.
Yeah, this is kind of a lake average hang right here.
Oh, I don't think I get this drunk at the lake. All right. Listen.
Everyone has a turn.
What are you, a park ranger? Speaking of the lake. So a couple weeks ago when we were in Havasu for the Battle at the Bridge, I get a text message at 3. Hold on. I can have the court reporter read back exactly the transaction. Hold on. I got to scroll all the way down.
Yeah.
All the way down to the
riveting audio
to the bottom of Hades. So it was at 3:06 a.m. 3:06.
3:06, yeah.
In the morning. Meanwhile, this was on Saturday night at so Sunday morning, 3:06. I had been up till whenever. Like I went to bed late. Probably another reason is, so again, I'm not blaming Whip for me losing my match at all. Like I was up late, got up early. Not a good combo. But yeah, I get a text at 3:06. Speaking of lake people, yeah, I'm gonna skip the pleasantries because I don't want to personalize it. But basically, hey, redacted. And then a follow-up message said, might be getting the band back together.
Okay.
Have we talked about, there was a whole episode about what's the penalty for losing a ball in the water?
Oh, are we talking about that guy?
Yeah. You guys are bros.
Yeah.
So I get it at 3:06 a.m.
In my adult life, that's the most I wanted to just beat the shit out of somebody after I have grown out of the beat the shit out of somebody phase of my life.
Oh, come on. There's probably been times.
I said it was the most.
Well, apparently, he's getting the band back together. So, it ought to be an interesting summer out there at the sandbar.
I think he's doing fine if he's texting you at 3 a.m. So he's probably
Everything's
probably
so get this.
copacetic.
So here was my whole theory is he's texting me at 3:06. So I'm at the gas station with Whip at 6:06 a.m. because 10 a.m. tea time. We're on the road at 6. It wasn't 10 a.m.
I was going to say it was an 8 o'clock tea time, wasn't it? So.
Yeah. So you gotta drive 24 minutes, leave 2 hours early.
Yeah. What if you get a flat tire?
Yeah, or keep an extra pair of chonies in the glove box. Yeah. What if?
Yeah.
And so anyway, I'm like, hey, what better way to give him a taste of his own medicine? Texting me. Who the fuck is he texting me at 3:06 a.m.? Doesn't he know that I work for a living, therefore I sleep at night? And I'm like, I'll fucking text him at 6 o'clock in the morning because he probably just went to bed or something. Send him a text. Hey, whatever, redacted. And immediately replies. I'm like, this motherfucker doesn't sleep.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of lizard people?
It's kind of the side effects of what he's doing.
Well, I don't know. If that's. Are you saying he's a lizard person?
No.
Oh. Are you implying Adderall, recreational Adderall?
He probably has canned THC, but the opposite.
The exact opposite of canned THC. Is that a goat skin?
Dry stuff up your nose.
A tankard? Oh, okay. Oh, I thought we were going chicken on wheat to tuna on rye. What's the exact opposite of canned THC? Is a tankard, a goat skin. That's a call out to our boys overseas. He'll know what it means. Was your kid, I don't want to say his name, redacted.
The boy.
Yeah. We'll just call him redacted. What kind of video games was he into? I feel like there was this one video game that was prevalent. How old is redacted?
He's 23.
Okay, so yeah, that checks out. He's about the same age as redacted. Airman redacted.
Airman. Yeah. Well, we're getting a lot of redacteds in there.
Actually, I don't even know if he's an airman anymore. I think what's after that?
I don't know.
So anyway,
Airman first class, second class.
No, I think he's
fifth class.
No, I think he's like, because he's already like re-upped, like he's through his first contract, and so I don't know. I know that he volunteers for everything, so they like think highly of him, and whatever that does for you. But I don't know. He could be an airman, maybe not. He doesn't talk about it. He doesn't like to talk about. I've seen some things, man, and some stuff. He'll get that too. So anyway, what was I talking about?
Video games and my
Oh,
kid.
yeah. Redacted. So there was this video game that was on all the time, and it was like the most boring. I don't know. I don't speak game stuff, which is probably why like I have a fucking Chromebook that I'm trying to do a podcast from, and I can't figure out how to get.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not tech. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy, pal. So I don't know. But this game was all fucking weird. It was like medieval, and like you would have to gain skills by like, I don't know, grinding an axe. Like you'd have to like do blacksmith
Are you
stuff.
talking about a game on the phone? Or?
No, a game on like the game box thing
Okay.
or the
PlayStation.
the play box, whatever the fuck. The game
And you're talking
station.
about my kids playing it?
I'm asking because no,
He plays sports games.
oh, like because
NCAA football,
yeah, okay.
predominantly.
So our kids were more into fantasy.
Like Final Fantasy and
No,
whatnot.
like not real shit. Like they weren't. So it. I don't know how the games work, but it seemed like there were a lot of quests. Like remember when we were kids and Zelda was like a thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of Zelda type games.
Yeah. But they're like on fucking steroids and Adderall. Like
They're not 8-bit or 16-bit anymore.
yeah.
There's
no,
a couple
like
more bits in there.
You're like a transgender sloth. Like you can put on whatever skin they call them skins. I think. Like you buy different.
I don't think you're allowed to say that.
You buy. We can't call.
I don't think you can call them that.
We can't call a spade a spade. What? No, so yeah, like it's in these fucking games, like you can be whatever the hell you want. You could be whatever. Like you just make yourself into.
Yeah.
You could be Joe Pesci if you wanted to.
There's lots of those games, yes.
But anyway, this one's like super medieval. I feel like I just took the longest possible route I could have taken to get to explaining the goat skin, because like you need health, I guess, in these games somehow. Like you have to.
I'm glad we finally figured out where you're going.
So you have to like nourish yourself.
Yeah.
But it's like this fucking ancient game. It's like medieval. And so
I'm trying to think of the name of it. 'Cause
you'd have
it's
like
very popular.
You'd have
game.
like a block of cheese and like a fucking Bruce baguette, like the fucking out of the trash Bruce baguette. You just pull all this shit out of your pocket because in a video game you just have endless supply. Of,
everything's in your pocket.
so and then all of a sudden it'd be like, oh, I'll have a goat skin of ale, like to nerd.
We're at the peak, fellas. For those 3 listeners out there, this is what happens. He's in a room with 1 million people.
No, there's not 1 million people. Matter of fact, this is a totally different experience. What I'm saying is, dude, like these fucked up games with and you'd have to like sharpen a dagger like with a stone to gain experience, and then you'd have to like pick a lock or something. Like you could like have lockpick skills and different, because you had to go on all these quests and you couldn't always get in, and like the lock picking. Like I used to sit there and watch this kid play this game, and he was like a shitty lock pick. Like he had like terrible XP or whatever you call it on the different skills. Like his worst possible thing was lock picking, because you'd have to like put in the little bobby pin thing and then turn the lock, but it was like if you like went too hard it would just snap the thing off and you'd fail. The only reason I know this is because I watched him do it like 100 times in a row, like not picking the lock, because it was anyway. If I could, I can't for the life of me. If any of you out there in podcast land know the game that I'm referring to, go ahead and write in, call in, text in.
Yeah, they're probably screaming what the name is, and I'm drawing a blank.
For all you video game,
I know what game you're thinking of, but I can't think of the name.
It's like it's not prehistoric. It's like medieval.
Yeah,
you're out there. You're just out there in the wilderness. There's mountains. I feel like there's mountains and trees, and you can be a trans sloth if you want. Like you can make skins or buy. I think you can buy skins.
Yeah.
Anyway, tankard of ale or goat skin. Yeah, leg of goat. That's what it was. Was it leg of goat? Anyway, one of the many things you could nourish yourself with in this game. It was just funny. And I'm sorry, like the whole episode is me just
Yeah.
high as fuck,
Yeah.
just rambling.
I knew it
about,
was going to be a good time when you told me you drank one before I came over. I was like, oh, this is going to be fun.
It's probably fine. This is probably the best episode ever. It's probably not. Also, the old fashions, they don't hurt. Like, it kind of helps.
Oh.
I think
That's good.
that drink tastes like I'm not going to work tomorrow. Too bad it's only Wednesday night, so I'm probably going to work tomorrow. Late.
Oh, I go in late every day.
Oh, well, I wonder what the comment. Never mind.
No. Mine's a really heavy dose of I don't want to go.
It tracks. If only there was a way to, be able to do this for a living. Imagine if this was our job. Like if for some reason, just imagine a world where we actually had listeners or people that actually give a fuck about the average minute.
Just getting smashed and talking on microphones.
No, like this is our job. Like we just do a podcast.
Like every episode's protect our parks.
Why not? And then, yeah, like this is our whole, we can actually afford to put effort into the studio, which would probably be a build out somewhere or a rented space or something. The fuck is that? I said some pulp. This says with pulp. That's a Sopranos reference. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's probably.
So
David.
We all got it.
Who Tony Soprano? Well, David.
Well, yeah.
It's probably fine. So how about this? How about you drive for a minute and then I'll just, chime in with whatever. I'll sit back and I'll wait I'll let you do some talking.
I'm good. I listening to you.
Well, okay.
It's not the Moondog podcast.
No, but I seem to be driving in circles, so why don't you take the wheel for a second?
Because I got nowhere to go.
Well, you can go somewhere else, and then I'll say, hey, that's not the right way.
Oh. That kind of sounded like you're kicking me out.
No, what I'm saying is, what do you think about, how about the fact that in the last month, I've lost a considerable amount of money, like in my IRA and my 401k, and then it rebounded like a shit ton today. But like, so where ultimately, where are you on tariffs?
Let's get into my work is car sales, and
I'm gonna let you
as a fleet guy. I tend to get involved in a lot of people's businesses as far as deciding what vehicles they need, when they can buy, that sort of stuff. And the number of people that have come to me basically since Trump that, what do you think these tariffs are going to do? And I've said this wholeheartedly the entire time. It's going to make the other countries come to the negotiating table. It's all it's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
They're all, no, we're going to be broke. We're losing the economy's crashing. And it's like, car business crashes first. Always does. I've been in the business for 25 years.
Well,
car business crashes in a down economy. Car business crashes first.
Yes.
And so we're putting tariffs on Mexico. So what's that going to do to the car prices? And I go, it won't take effect because they already have parts in country to build what they're building. So him putting a tariff on it on April 2nd, the prices don't automatically change April 3rd.
It's not, yeah.
It doesn't happen that fast.
When oil prices spike. And
most companies will just stop buying the supplies they need, and especially the way it's been going as far as, what, we're on the 9th now? Is that what today is? Yeah. And you already had 79 countries, including the European Union, sit at the negotiating table.
Yep.
And they're all suggesting, how about we just go zero tariffs across the board for both of us, which will be huge to our economy. And then I've always believed, and this isn't a pro-Trump whatever, but if you're...
No, I can clearly see you voted for average Moondog
of course.
24. Because we had a black chick do the math.
Yeah, checks out. So you lost my train of thought, so thank you for that derailment.
You were talking about everybody, 85 countries, including the EU.
Oh, yeah, so they're talking about doing the zero tariff
Zero for
across the board. Zero.
Good.
And so, yeah. And so when you're the bully on the block, as in U.S. motherfucking A,
Right.
we're the best, we're the largest, and I'm going, we're all a bunch of assholes. Don't get into all that fucking. I'm going flat out economy for economy. We are the strongest economy
Sure.
by far.
Sure.
So when we're swinging the big dick, so to speak,
We got robots.
then what is fucking Lithuania gonna do? If we don't,
Do we have tariffs on Lithuania?
we did it on the entire European Union, and they're
Lithuania is part of the EU?
yeah,
I always thought Lithuania was like Eastern Bloc, like fucking.
no, it's like right above Germany.
Oh. Why do I always look down on Lithuanians?
Why do you look down on them?
Yeah. It's not like I'm taller than them and I'm physically looking down on
Because
them.
they're such a small nation.
Because they go, Lithuania, what the fuck?
I mean, they're not
Like,
Belgium.
do you even have? Do you even have an Olympic pickleball team? Like
Yeah.
what?
So anyway, when that was announced today, I just kind of sat there, just kind of smug, doing the man knows how to negotiate, and he wasn't trying to shit on anybody. He wasn't trying to lose your 401k. He wasn't trying to do anything. He was just trying to get the negotiation to the table, because what he wants is zero tariffs across the board. And when you do that, our prices are going to go way, way down on everything we import, and we're going to make way more money on everything we export. Because most countries have anywhere from a 25 to 100% tariff on our goods. So we export a fuck ton, but we don't export as much as we're gonna.
What's our biggest export?
Annoying woke people.
Are we exporting them?
I hope so. I think that's next on the list.
I don't think we're there yet.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what we voted for.
all right, so tariffs. So you're for them or you're against them? You're for the threat of tariffs to
It's for
eliminate
what-
tariffs?
It's for what he used them for, was a bargaining chip to get people to come to the table.
Mm-hmm.
Because Canada has way more to lose not trading with us than we do not trading with them. And what I also see happen.
That's why he hires waitresses for everything.
Yeah.
Because they bring a lot to the table.
You don't have a button for that.
Oh, hold on. No, that wasn't the
You don't
one.
have a drum roll.
No, I don't have a rim shot,
Oh,
but I got. Oh, that's super funny.
yeah, that's.
Oh, here, I got one for you. Hold on.
All right.
Wait. No. It's got to be this one. Okay. So I was telling Mrs. Average earlier that I didn't know what to wear to my premature ejaculators support group, so I just came in my pants. There's a delay on the button. Like I hit the button with okay timing, but there's a delay. Anyway,
So anyway,
tariffs.
Mexico came to the table. China did not, and Trump whacked them with way more tariffs.
104% or something. Something like more than
something very high.
More than 100.
And so, I think the push for and I'm kind of getting into more philosophical, trade stuff. This isn't political bullshit. You can pick whoever you want as long as you agree with me.
Ross Perot.
Yeah, it's basically a Ross Perot technique. So anyway, I firmly believe that he's not trying to get manufacturing, say, out of Mexico, for instance. He would rather have Mexico be our import partner instead of China, because we basically support China completely by all the stuff we buy from them, and the trade difference is 75%. We import 75% more stuff than they import into our country or from us.
Mm-hmm. That's why the whole them slapping tariffs on our shit, we were like, okay,
Yeah,
well,
what
the
it
deficit,
doesn't- it
there's
means
still
nothing.
a fucking deficit. Like,
And so that's where I think he's talking about doing the sending the military into Mexico to take out the cartels, is because he wants Mexico to basically just be a big ass manufacturing plant for us.
52nd state.
Yeah, because Canada's 51st.
What about Greenland? Do they get state status? If we acquire Greenland, do they get state status, or are they a territory?
All we would be acquiring Greenland for is to just be the caretaker of them, like Denmark is now. They're still going to be their own separate entity. It'd be like Dominican Republic.
Yeah, but it's more so like Steven Tyler back in the day, how he adopted, quote unquote, adopted the 14-year-old to take her on tour. So he became her guardian.
Yeah.
No, nobody likes to talk about this, right? Because it's one of those situations where you got to separate the art from the artist. You know, like I can still like Cosby as a comedian, as a go out drinking with, not so much. Steven Tyler, you know, yeah, let me go ahead and I'll take custody of this 14-year-old girl because reasons.
It was
right?
a different time.
So we see Greenland and we go, ooh, boy, do they have some resources I'd like to get my hands on. How about we just acquire it? But it's not, we'll take better care of Greenland than
he's
the
gonna
Danish
yeah.
folk. Because
Yeah, he's
it's
gonna
Denmark,
100%.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's 100%, or the U.S. is 100% going. I bet you they got a lot of rare earth minerals in there because
Yeah.
we're basically losing Ukraine.
Oh, no, but it's a strategic position in the Arctic.
Yeah, but we're in the process of the Ukraine has a bunch of that stuff. So does China, and we're in the process of losing the Ukraine to Russia.
Right.
So where else are you going to go if you're going to try to cut off China and you're losing the
Yeah,
Ukraine?
turns out you need some rare earth.
Maybe some Greenland action will help.
Because we're not drilling on meteorites yet. I know that they're close. They're actually really close on that.
Okay.
Like for real.
Is
Like
that-
I'm not making it up.
Really? Is that the stigma talking?
No. No. Like, are you not aware of this?
No.
Like we're super close to being able to mine fucking space rocks because there's like ridiculously like copious amounts of
Yeah. Well, I heard the theory where all the gold in the world basically was meteorite hitting, and it was a gold meteorite.
Where'd you hear that theory?
Probably Joe Rogan.
Oh, all right. Well, then I trust it.
Yeah.
Because you can't put anything on a podcast that isn't
Yeah.
100% fact checked. It's probably fine. Allegedly. Oh, you were talking. You were talking about tariffs and politics and some sleepy shit.
A whole
like
bunch
that.
of stuff that was,
it
boring
like,
you to tears. And
God damn it.
man,
Dude, that was a horrible topic.
you do a great job of chiming in, making jokes. By the way, because I mean,
It's
you really are a great sidekick. I see why I'm the sidekick.
well, no. Are you saying I gave you your time to shine and you?
No, I'm
Didn't?
saying you gave me a topic and I ran with it, and you never chimed in to add any stupid thing. Well, you
I
did
don't-
add stupidity to it.
I don't want to talk about tariffs. Like, why did I
You
make
brought-
you talk
you
about
brought it up.
tariffs? Dude, who gives? Well, I give shit about tariffs because it actually affects me directly. Although I'm a Republican registered, I will admit that tariffs affect me directly.
Yeah, I never agreed with the tariffs until I realized what he was doing, which was come negotiate with me.
Right. Let's not talk about tariffs. There was something else. Oh, that's what it was. I can't even believe. If you're watching this, you're witnessing something Festivus miracle.
Light bulb just came up on
It
his
came back. I thought of it while you were
Rambling on, yeah.
droning on
head. Just
about
talking
tariffs.
unnecessarily.
And then I was like, and I didn't have anything to write with, but it just came back to me. There's not a good segue for this because it doesn't have anything to do with anything we've talked about at all.
Perfect. Sounds like
so
us.
let's start from scratch. Welcome to the Average Minute. If you could have a free drop anywhere back on your line.
It is the right week.
Yes. If you could have a free drop. So for those of you listening to this, if you know what that is referencing in the golf world, when you enter a penalty area and you go, fuck, I'm in the hazard.
So basically, any penalty you have doesn't count as a penalty.
Yeah, you get a free drop,
Yes.
but you have to go back.
Point of entry, basically.
So
yeah.
point of entry, but the line, so that point and the flag stick, that formulates a line. You can go back as far as so you pick your flag, which in life analogy, your ultimate goal, like your whole life has been this is your goal you're trying to achieve. The end is the flag stick and you die. That's your direction. So wherever you entered the hazard, you're in a bad time in your life. Okay, because this is what this is really all about.
So you're doing a golf analogy about life?
Yeah,
Okay.
this is what this is really all about. Is this isn't about you? It's not a would you rather situation. Although we can kind of make it that. What I'm saying is it's a good exercise for folks that may not be in the greatest of spaces, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, whatever. You're in a bad spot. You're in the penalty area. The rules official comes and says, let's just say Whip comes over because this guy's playing against me and goes, oh no, you get a free drop from there.
I don't think Whip will do that for you.
No, he came over to the other guy and said you got a free drop.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I
misunderstood. I think you know how the match turned out. What I'm saying is I don't blame Whip for it. We're getting back off into the weeds like my competitor was when Whip gave him. Anyway, you know what?
I wish the last podcast would have been published. They would be laughing so much harder right now.
This is a good exercise for anybody, right? Like you're in a bad spot. Rules official comes and says, "Look, I'll give you what you want." Similar to if you've watched the 1930s or 40s film. It's a Wonderful Life. Dude wants to off himself. The angel comes down from heaven and says, "This is what you want? Let me show you." Or not off himself. Like, I wish I would have never been born.
Yeah.
Like, I'll show you what life was like if you never existed. Anyway, rules official comes over and says, you get a free drop anywhere. You can go back as far on your line as you need to be able to achieve your goal. Like, give yourself the best possible advantage to hit the green, salvage maybe a par, probably a bogey, but don't worsen it, go back as far as you want on your line. Where would you take a drop? And we're going full life analogy. This means go back in time and take a drop, start the hole you're playing over again at that point. Where would you?
I honestly don't think I would even change anything, but I'll tell you why. The original time I thought of when you said that was right before I moved out of California and came to Arizona. There was a couple things that I made mistakes with that I wish I'd have done differently and not done, so to speak. However, moving my family to Arizona, even though we all know what happened, but I ended up having 2 kids that are destined for success.
Oh, I love redacted and redacted.
And in great positions in their lives. And all I ever wanted to be was a dad that could be as proud of my kids as I am. And they actually like me. So I wouldn't give that up. I couldn't give that up.
And how long have these kids been in therapy?
My daughter took their
intensive thing. Yeah. Your kids like you?
But it's not about me. It's the therapy. That was interesting.
Yeah, I was
your vape picked up static.
Probably. Ooh,
wow,
it's possible.
Cool.
That's possible.
We got a new sound effect.
Yeah. Sounded an awful lot like when Mrs. Average is brushing her teeth at 3 a.m. when I wake up, and all of a sudden I'm like, why is she brushing her teeth at 3 a.m.?
Why do I always wake up at 3 o'clock? There's always this noise. So
she's got that pulsing. It's got the, but I think she's got a real sensitive tooth because she. Anyway, you know what?
So based on my heartfelt gay thing, I said, same question to you.
Okay, similar reasons. I think this is the exercise that I'm encouraging people to is go back as far as you want on your line. Like, do you think you could possibly, and I will even sweeten the pot and say, knowing everything you know, well, I guess that kind of is, because when you hit it into a penalty area, you know that that's a risk. You don't want to do it again. You go back as far as you need to on your line to be able to avoid it, whatever. So I think that's a presupposition, is that knowing everything you know now, and you could go back to any point in your life and have a do-over, where would you go? I think even knowing everything that I first of all, I wouldn't go back and relive my life and at any point, if it was I have no recollection of any of it, like you just literally rewind it and make me do it all over again, I would not do that at all. There's obviously high points that I would like to be able to be in the first person again. But there's it just, you don't want to go back and do it all over again. If you had a chance to do it differently, that's the whole thing. That's the whole exercise is, would you go back?
What you would have done to be in the same place, but not have the hardships that you had.
Well, that's the sales pitch. That's the bait and switch, right? Like that's the whole, because you sell that to yourself as a person. You're like, if I could go back knowing everything I know now, I wouldn't make the same mistakes.
I think what a better analogy is going to be more of if you could go back in time and tell your, previous self some tip.
But that doesn't work out for golf analogy, like getting a free drop.
You made it a comedy podcast.
Well, that's not comedy. We're not. This isn't even comedy. What the fuck are we even talking about?
Yeah, I don't know.
Right,
you're fucking. I went all tariffs, and you're fucking philosophical.
What I'm saying is, all right. Well, then we'll wrap this up, this segment, because it's obviously not.
You never said yours though, and everybody's waiting.
They're not.
I mean, everybody's turning it off, but I still want to know.
All right. Ultimately, absolutely not. I would not go back because I could not go back. I don't want to say I couldn't go back far enough to, what I'm saying is, even if I went back 10 years, like my whole life is different if I try to do things differently, right? Like I don't want my life to be different. Like the whole sales pitch is, okay, you're going to figure out some way to play this level and end up with all of the good that you have right now and none of the bad, right? Or even more good and less of the bad. So you could say, like, I want my life right now, but I want to figure out, like, I would go back. We've had the conversation before. You would go back to whatever year, do everything else the same, but you would buy Bitcoin at fucking $1 or whatever, right? But would you do everything the same? You guaranteed you wouldn't, because you had bad experiences that when revisited with those, you would go, no, I've seen this movie before. I'm not making the same decision. And it totally changes the outcome of your life. Like it totally, like all of those bad decisions led to something.
Yes.
Right?
It's a really good, bringing your golf analogy back. I really think penalties on the course is what actually makes you learn to play better, because that's how you learn course management of don't put it there.
Yeah, but you don't get to go rewrite your scorecard for that last round that you played. You get to play the course again, and you go, okay, I don't want to do that again.
Yeah.
But you don't get absolved of the risk.
Correct. But so when you put it in life, I think I've improved in life because I've had so many penalties. I constantly tell my friends and my kids as well of what you need to do is realize that I had this penalty and this is how I got there, and don't hit that 5-iron because you're not going to clear the water.
Right. Yeah, like you're not that guy.
Yeah.
There's maybe a better man that can clear the water, but you're not. You're not that guy.
You're not that guy. You're related to me. You're gonna go in the water.
Yeah, it's likely. We're Moonies. This is.
It's a lot of swimming.
So, yeah, I don't think, I might not be the handicap that I want to be in life, right? Like I'm not a scratch lifer, but I have a lot more fun,
Yeah.
Like we talk about it all the time with your handicap. Like, do you want to be that guy that a fucking bogey wrecks his whole day? Like, no, I don't want to be that guy. I want to have a hell of a good time. And I want to feel like I'm also winning somewhat, So, and I think that's where I'm at right now in my life is I'm like dangerously blue collar, like I live in Buckeye, right? Like I don't live in Paradise Valley.
Hey,
I live in,
you're north of the 10.
I am, which is a big improvement. That's a big improvement from where I spent the first 17 years of Arizona residency. And so what I'm saying is I feel like I am at the nexus of like that sweet spot of golf handicap where you're just shitty enough to be able to have a good time while you're doing it, and you're just good enough to be able to beat your friends every once in a while. Sometimes they beat you. You know, it's the same thing. Like you think you're better than me.
Yeah.
Like what I'm saying is we're not. We're all pretty much like all of our friends. Like we're just regular people. Nobody's quote unquote better than the other one. Like we're all on different paths, but we're all sometimes Whip gets a new truck and I go up fire up the beater in the garage, and you know, whatever. He's one of my friends is up, one of my friends is down.
Everything works out for you.
It all evens out. Like
Do you get sad when I get a new truck?
in other aspects, you know, he gets a new truck. I've got more than 5 shifts this month. So, you know, they didn't close my place of employment. So he's up in one aspect, I'm up in another aspect. You know, he got loose meat sandwiches for dinner. I had, microwave pizza
Old fashions
and weed
and stigma.
and stigma. Ooh, so what you want to do is you want to go to Total Wine. You want to go to Total Wine and you want to get some stigma. Dude, I love that riff so much. It's so cheesy, but I love it. Anyway,
I'm watching you play with the mic.
I know it's weird. It's like I'm just trying to figure out, because in my ears it's still fucked up. Like I can't get a good sound. Maybe what if there was, you know how you ever listen to a playback of your own voice and you don't like it, like it sounds different than how it sounds naturally?
Always.
So if there was a drug that you could take or drink out of a can, maybe, to where you could observe yourself as everybody else does, that would be, how fucked up would that be?
That would be pretty fucked up.
Like,
I don't think I would take it.
Imagine if all of a sudden you observed, like you saw through the lens, not necessarily like looking at yourself in the third person, but like how your voice sounded, how you even interpret your own behavior. You're like, what is that? Like, who am I? Like, would you be a totally different person, do you think? If all of a sudden you started observing yourself as everybody else does, do you think that you would be a totally different person than you think you are? Or do you think you're pretty accurate on your self-diagnosis?
I'm pretty accurate on where I'm at, I think. I mean,
Okay.
I hate the sound of my voice.
I'm going to tell you, I think I'm way off. Like that's a good Black Mirror episode. Like if you could like take some potion or something, whatever, 5-hour energy shot, and all of a sudden you're like totally clear on this is not like with a stupid Mel Gibson movie where it could read people's thoughts, like the women or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like that, but like it's just a neural thing. Like you observe yourself the way that everybody else does. I think I would fucking jump off a building, because I think you have to have a certain amount of same thing on the golf course. How many times do you go for the shot that you have absolutely no business going for? I'm not saying going for the green on the par 5 from 265. What I mean is like thinking you're in the trees and like, oh, I got this window, I could hit this cut, little punch shot and run it up there. And then you end up across on the other side. Like you totally can't, you don't have the skills to execute that. But in your head, you're like, I could totally pull this off. What if you observed yourself like everybody else does, and all of a sudden you realize, like, no, I don't.
The good part of that was when we went to started going to Golf Tech, and the initial videotaping of my golf swing, I was like, my friends let me play like that. I didn't know it looked like that. Why did nobody tell me to go seek professional help?
Right. But that's just it. But okay, and not even so much with golf. And I'm not talking to you, and that's I'm saying in general. Like, what if you were a completely different person? Like, how often do we tell? I don't know. You don't. You have no reason to. Like, there would be no reason for you to. I don't know. Tell David, for example. We'll take David because we like picking on David. To grab David and go, do you realize that you are like this and this and that? You don't ever. When do you? Unless it's like problematic, you don't ever like sit somebody down and be like, "This is how you really are." I know you think that you're like this, but you're not like this.
Bruce is probably a better candidate for what you just
Yeah,
said.
but he doesn't. He doesn't give two shits.
Yeah.
So we're going with David because regardless, he'll fucking live his best life because he's
Yeah.
the most best life guy. The most best life guy.
Yeah.
That's the name of the next episode. What I'm saying is, like, I would really, really, really struggle if I could observe myself the way that I really am, because I think that what I was getting at with the whole golf analogy, with how often do you go for the shot that you have no business going for? I feel like most of the time in my head, I am like not thinking better of myself, but almost more of a I don't give a shit mentality. Like, I don't give two shits, whereas there's lots of times where I probably should be giving some shits.
Uh-huh.
And so you end up living or being something that doesn't correlate with
But you're Teflon, because on the podcast, you and I could say the same thing and it offends somebody and everyone's mad at me.
Yeah, well, because that's only because I have a charming way of throwing you right under the bus.
No, Bob tricked me into saying that.
Yeah, I know I said it, but Bob had it written down. No, I think that for me, not that I have this picture in my head. So listen, I've done. I don't want to say I've done well for myself. I don't mean that. I'm dangerously blue collar. Like, it's not I've done well for myself situation financially, but I've done well for myself in life. I've managed to secure, like, somehow, like, way. I don't know if you've ever met Mrs. Average, but like fucking way out of my league.
Outkick the coverage, yeah.
Right.
We all say that. To your face and behind your back.
Right. And I don't even I managed to secure a life for myself that is fairly comfortable, and I'm not going to go take a drop, as per the previous analogy. Like, I'm happy. I think, can I use those words? Am I allowed to say I'm happy?
I don't think I've ever heard you say them.
For those of you that are not watching the podcast, I'm looking around for Mrs. Average. I'm happy. Okay, I said it.
And once again, that's a stigma, THC.
The point I'm trying to get to is, that's how that in my own head, this is where I'm at. And I don't feel like I come off that way, because there's so many times, I can't tell you the number of times that people have said, not necessarily to me directly, but to somebody else, one of my associates or Mrs. Average, like, that guy's a fucking asshole, or whatever, right? Like,
I was going to make you a t-shirt, actually.
Yeah. And how must I come off to people if, because in my head, it's not like I'm not, there's never an intent to be an asshole. It's more just, I'm in my own world kind of thing. And like, I generally don't have a filter. I am also really dry for the most part, unless I'm high. Like there's a lot of times where you would have no idea whether or not I'm serious or if I'm yanking your chain.
The tough thing, and I have this as well, is you and I both approach new people the exact same as we approach our friends.
I love fucking with them.
So when we're with a new person, we just flat out be us.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like,
and it's polarizing.
But is that guy joking or is he not joking? I don't know. and it wears on some people, and they hate me, and it wears on them with you, and they love you.
I feel like I somehow backdoored you into having the same podcast with me as Mrs. Average did about
Yeah, pretty close.
whether or not is Average an asshole.
Oh, do you want me to explain?
I think
I can elaborate. I've been thinking about it since that podcast.
You should. You probably should, because I think everybody loves to hear about how Average is a fucking asshole. Because I think that's the grand sentiment. So let's hear it directly from the podcast producer. Actually, you know what? No, I don't want to take a break now. I was going to say, because I'm out of fucking drink.
I think we leave it on a cliffhanger, and I'll tell you next week.
Are we really going to do it next week? I think you need to fucking... Hold on.
I think we're in an hour 20.
So?
Okay.
Are there rules?
Maybe.
You have a fridge in the back of your truck. You'll be fine.
There's no rules.
You'll be fine.
Make sure you're on pause.
We'll be back again.
Wait.
Am I?
Wait. World of Warcraft was the name of the game.
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
It's not, I know it's not it. Because
that was one of the fantasy games.
That's like a PC game. Anyway, we'll get back to it.
Okay.
And we're back.
So
and already I don't remember
you
what
already
it is.
forgot?
What were you? Oh, you were going to tell me.
Tell me a few things about you that you don't know.
Yeah, like you tell me about me.
So I'm just going to go off my personal experiences of what grinds my gears, and they're all minor.
And this is about me?
Oh yeah, of course.
What grinds your gears about me?
Yeah, huge.
Okay.
Huge pain in the ass. So one of my favorite pet peeves of yours.
We're going to full pet peeves. I thought you were trying to explain to people whether or not I was an asshole.
Oh no, this is my personal experience, and I like you, so it's different.
Okay, but there's obviously stuff that grinds your gears about me.
So one of the main things is if somebody offers up a suggestion to you that you don't like, you go, ew. So like, for instance.
I literally say ew?
Yeah, like we talk about when we're in Havasu and there's a restaurant that none of us has been to, or you and Mrs. Average may have gone to once 5 years ago. And you go, hey, we tried that spot? Ew.
What?
Yeah.
I say ew?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, that's a little gay.
Yeah. Because you're just like, oh, are you retarded? It comes off as you're telling me I'm retarded for even considering.
Havasu elitist?
Yeah, pretty much.
Is there a thing?
And I guarantee Whip's going, fuck yeah, fuck yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Hey, you know what? I'll take this.
That was the main thing when you were having that conversation with Mrs. Average. I was just like, point this out. Oh, wait. You guys are together. You can't point that out, but I can.
I think, okay, I'll throw her right under the bus because I feel like I'm saying ew on her behalf.
Yeah. Oh, it's...
Because, she'll never go for that. I'll eat anywhere. But she's...
And the example is, when I used your guys' trailer that one summer, Jessica and I would be getting there very late. And the only place open in town is Chili's.
Yeah.
And you were like, ew, Chili's. How is Chili's? And it's like, it's better than not eating food, or more importantly, eating from the whatever fried concoction crap that the office was putting up.
That's true.
But,
okay.
But doesn't the office have a better food truck now, though?
Well, it's the same food truck. I feel like they've just gotten better.
I was going to say, I think they improved the menu or something.
I think they have sandwiches.
The last time I saw their food, it didn't look ew.
I think you can get sandwiches.
Yeah.
Which is they're not all deep fried. It's not a full Monte Cristo menu situation. I feel like you can get a club sandwich if you want.
Yeah, because I remember Mrs. Average didn't have any food, and she got some sort of deep fried, seafood platter.
The famous Havasu deep fried seafood platter.
Yeah.
So, okay, so I'm an elitist.
Yeah, you're an elitist, yes.
In many things, or just Havasu?
There's a lot of things, like even like when we're golfing and stuff, like
somebody pulls a Volvic out of their bag, I'm like, ew.
Yeah, kind of.
All right. Meanwhile, I have K-Cigs in my bag now.
You usually go ooh to the guy who pulled the Volvic out and just kind of go, you're looking down your nose, and then you go, well, let me just go ahead and grab my K-Cigs right now then.
Yeah.
And,
it's a way better ball.
But that interaction, the guy who has the Volvic is thinking, this guy's an asshole. It's like, he's playing K-Cigs, dude. He's looking down his nose and he's driving a fucking Hyundai.
Yeah. Well, okay. I don't drive a Hyundai.
I know.
So David,
I had to use a car I think sucks analogy.
there's a time and a place for Hyundais, but we're not going to get into that.
Yeah.
You're telling me
I've already bored people with tariffs.
you're telling me why you think I'm an asshole.
The elitist thing is
This is
a great
so.
example.
This is the episode where Bob gets to tell me why he thinks I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's the
No, keep it going.
That's the main,
I want to just heap.
That's all. That's the only thing I wanted to point out was the.
You think I'm an elitist?
Yeah, the thing when somebody suggests any place to eat that you don't want to go to.
Huh. So it's mostly restaurant related.
Sure.
No, for real. Or like, does it bleed into other?
Well, I have said things like, "Hey, do you want to play Tres Rios or something like that?" And that was when Tres Rios was shit, and you didn't go, "Oh, well, Tres Rios is in bad shape." You said, "Ew."
Oh, that sounds like something I would say.
Yeah.
That actually sounds.
And
like
I would
something
rather
say.
you say, "It's in crappy condition. Let's go somewhere else."
I think the presupposition is that it's in crappy condition.
Well, it's in good condition now,
Is
so
it?
let's not, throw them under the. And they
What's
changed,
the opposite of
and,
ew?
And they changed their name to Junior something.
Oh.
Junior National. Yeah,
Junior national.
I don't know why the Junior. It doesn't make sense to me. Other than
Are they trying to attract more people from north of the 10? More Little League coaches with hot tubs? I'm going to go get a weekend tea time at Junior National. So anyway.
But yeah, that's the only
deep,
thing that.
That's a deep cut. That's a throwback.
Yeah, I knew what you're doing, but I never.
We're not going there.
I never
This is
coached
about
baseball.
why I'm an asshole.
Yeah, I never coached baseball.
Okay.
Just because I had little years at my house doesn't mean.
I thought you were shortstop development coach of the year. So anyway.
So that's
So you just think I'm an elitist?
there are times where you do that. It's okay. The best way to put it would be when I was in Mexico and I did I'm not eating here.
Yeah.
You do that more than me.
What?
Yes. Not saying the not eating here. You say ew
Yeah, but
before we even
like,
get there.
No, the whole I'm not eating here thing, that was like we were already there and established as being there.
And I was totally going to eat there because we all wanted breakfast, and they
then
offered pancakes
or pancakes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
And
said,
I
I'm
don't
not-
eat pancakes, so
Yeah, I know. There's a whole list. Spaghetti. Pancakes.
spaghetti wasn't on that list back then.
All right. So, all right, maybe I am. Maybe I am an elitist. Maybe I am. I don't know. I don't feel elite. Like I don't think I'm better than anybody. Except for
Yeah. Don't name names.
no, I wasn't gonna name names. I was gonna name entire like swaths of
No,
people.
you're going to make it way
I was
worse.
going to marginalize all kind of different people. I don't think I'm better than anybody, except
Yeah.
you don't even have to say it. And most people know what you're thinking, and that's what makes America great again is the fact that everybody knew what I was going to say, and yeah, whatever. I prove it, prove it that was in my head. Just because you think
Yeah,
you're
you
better
feel
than
like-
those people,
Who you calling those people?
it could be anybody. Listen. So anyway, about Aaron Rye's caddy, my ex-IT guy. He totally needs to get my computer situation fixed. Aaron Rye's going to miss the cut this weekend at the Masters, so he should be back by Sunday for IT setup at the Average Minute World headquarters. Have we gone as far as we can go? I feel like I'm starting to come back, and now I'm just drunk,
Yeah.
which is
Your eyes are very much not towely
it's
anymore.
like when you don't tidy the house before going on vacation, and then you come back and you're like, oh,
Oh, this
shit.
guy's here.
Oh, this sucks. Like I went on a little vacation there, and I came back and I'm like, well, fuck, this sucks. I'm drunk. Like, What? It's not good. It's not a good place to come back from vacation to. So I'm going to go deal with this. And, we'll hopefully this uploads and the sound quality is listenable.
And write in for the next podcast for why Bob's an asshole, because I know you all have lists.
Yeah, go ahead and text me on the side. For those of you that haven't been, because I know there's a lot that have, go ahead and text me on the side all the many reasons why you feel that MoonLion is a fucking asshole. And we'll cover that in the next episode.
I can name a few. No.
You can name a few?
Sure.
Obviously, they're not the right ones.
Yeah. There are things I like about me.
Because he hasn't corrected course. Yeah. Till the next time. How do we close this out?
See you in the rough.
Oh,
that's
that's
what
right.
we usually say. But you say that, I don't say that.
Yeah, I know. Because we tried you as the host.
Did we?
It didn't.
It went into tariffs.
It went into tariffs.
You asked the question.
Okay. Till next time, we'll see you in the tariffs or something.
Yeah.
We'll see you in the rough.